Hey there YouTubes, this is Grimweird coming back at you with more MC Eternal mod pack playthrough action for Minecraft 1.12.2, and I have been busy trying to organize my base, and this time through I'm trying to make it a bit more snazzy, get a bit more style involved. So one of the things I'm doing is playing around with the dimensional doors from the Dimensional Doors mod pack, which has things like the fabric of reality, which looks like just complete blackness, which is sort of cool looking. And so what I've got here is sort of my transportation hub. This is under the new house, which we will go upstairs and show you in just a moment. But I've got a waypoint thing here. It's got 3 villages, and then Sandcastle is that original starting world-generated castle that I'm in. Temporarily while I get moved over to my new house and new digs. And then the hub is what I'm calling this spot here. So I've got Electro Blob's Wizardry, the various different types of magic here as sort of waypoints. You can see I'm using just doors going into stuff. These doors are from loot games, or these blocks are from loot games. This leads to my mob farm, which I'll show you in a minute. And of course, this is some Astral Sorcery stuff. I grabbed a floating crystal with a sack of holding and put it here. So this marks where my Astral Sorcery is. And then this ice and lightning and fire and sorcery and earth and necromancy, and I'll probably put healing here or here as soon as I find a healing shrine out in the world to get some rune stones that are healing. Those should be like white with like gold runes or something like that. So if I see one of those, I'll add those there, or I might add more stuff like this that is just sort of specific to where I want to go, whatever visual cue I need to get to where I want to go. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it. Let's go upstairs and take a look at the house. I haven't moved in yet, and I haven't really decorated, and so I've intentionally built this as sort of a small cottage in the woods kind of build, specifically with the idea of having probably my bed here, some enchanting stuff, so I'll probably have my potions and Electroblob's Wizardry altar and enchantment stuff, and then cooking for blockheads along one wall. So just sort of keep this the homey type stuff here, and then downstairs I might just have various little other things that are less industrial and more magical. Most of this is vanilla stuff. We are using the white concrete for the floors just because I like the run speed buff that you get on concrete. But I did also use this Melissa's door, what do they call it? It's like the door factory. So we've got it set to a vanishing door that is, the frame of it is like a quark brimstone, and then the bottom and top are like the Electroblob's Wizardry rune stones for fire. So I thought that was just sort of an interesting design, and it senses players and I can run through it. So as you can see, I've done this in sort of what I think of almost as sort of the overdone Minecraft fancy style. So in other words, lots of shutters and awnings and plants and planters and shrubs. I don't usually build in this style, but I sort of wanted to have something like this. It's been a long time since I built a house that sort of looked like a house. So I sort of went overboard with the willow vines. They sort of grew more and grew sideways more than I expected. But we've got spruce shutters or spruce trapdoors that look like shutters, and then spruce stairs as awnings, and then spruce slabs for little trays for some stuff. We've got painted stone stairs, so these are normal stone block stairs, but they're painted mossy with the Ender IO painter. Got various flowering oak leaves as little flowering bushes. We've got the willow vines growing all over the house, which is a bit carried away, but you know, whatever. So it's all in all, it's mostly vanilla material. Then also, as you can see here, we've got stairs for a roof, and then the top is slabs, so monsters can't spawn on slabs and stairs. So that keeps slabs and stairs keeps the monsters from spawning on the roof. I also went ahead and made grass path here, so I have the level up reloaded stuff that makes you run faster on grass paths. So you can see I'm moving considerably faster on the path than I am on the grass. Sort of don't like the brown, I sort of don't like the look of it, but I like the run speed, so I thought I'd give it a try. Anyway, that's that. Take a look sort of back and from a ways away. I think it turned out okay. So the only other thing I sort of want to do in this neighborhood is I might clean out that dragon nest over there. The dragon is already killed off, but I might just tear down that stuff and replace it. But there you go. There's my house. And might try something a little different for the door. I sort of like the spruce door, which looks a lot like the oops, and I have one of my shutters going up, the rings going up instead of the rings going down, so I need to fix that. I have rings going down, I think, most of the places. Yes. Rings going down. I'm going to do that right now while I'm thinking about it. You guys don't mind, do you? Just take a moment. There we go. Much better. But yeah, it's a little busy. It's a little busy, but this is actually sort of a style that's sort of common in Minecraft. Is that busyness with awnings and flower pots and vines and plants and all sorts of stuff. So I wanted to give it a shot. And mission successful. And also, I like this seasonal forest. I think it's pretty with all of its autumn colors. And I like the fact that if I go in here, I've got like a view of a lagoon and the ocean, and like a normal green forest off in that direction. I also like it that at night, get up here, you can see there's an aurora borealis which forms to the north of this. So that's sort of a pretty sky feature. So I like that. Anyway, before monsters start spawning, let's go ahead and run in here. Again, so upstairs, sort of boring yet. Downstairs, I haven't moved in really. That stuff is just stuff that I had here that I was using while I was building the place. And then the transport hub down here. So let me crawl in the sleeping mat for a moment. And then let's travel to some of my other areas that I've been working on. First, the Astral Sorcery area. I haven't done anything yet, but I did finish setting it up. It is way up in the air. So it is a big platform. There's my sandcastle way down there, my mob farm way down there. So yeah, we're way up in the air. We'll see if I like it. I sort of liked it, but then a harpy spawned up here, and that annoyed me. But you can see I sort of mimicked the little Astral Sorcery temple things here on this end for going to and from the hub. And up here we're going to have sort of the usual, probably a big crafting altar here, probably a big attunement altar over here, and then probably a couple of Astral Sorcery tree farms on either side. And I'll put, once I get things settled in where I want them, I'll probably turn it into grass paths so I can run faster, or I'll put in concrete walkways so I can run faster across all this. And then we'll have like an area that's got a starlight infuser and a couple of telescopes and the observatory and things like that. So I'm looking forward to getting working on this now that I've created the spot for it. And the floor is 3 thick, so I don't have to worry about falling through it, and I can bury any pipes or any kind of, things that I have running around up here. So now, if we go back to the hub, and I should say that all of this stuff, I'm going to have it in the same dimension. If you actually go to a different dimension when using these dimension doors, it does sort of lag out while it loads the world. So I'm going to just keep this for intradimensional travel. Anyway, so that's the Astral Sorcery. We've already been through here. These blocks came from Loot Games. There was a dungeon floor that has a puzzle master in it, which is like a Simon Says kind of game where it has 8 squares that have different tones and colors, musical tones and colors, and it gives you a pattern, and you have to click it back at the puzzle master. And if you do it, like, it'll go beep, and you go beep, and then it goes beep bop, and you go beep bop, and then it goes beep boop bop, and it goes beep boop bop, etc., etc. And if you get on to, I don't know, however many in a row it is, but if you can repeat back the extended long version of it, it'll award you loot chests. But actually, what really made me happy was I just sort of like these blocks. So I've used these for my my mob farm. And here's my mob farm. Now my mob farm is following the sort of fabric of reality dimensional doors kind of look. So I've used framed drawers and framed them in fabric of reality. You can see I've got more of the dungeon floor from Loot Games here. This is all my junk. And you can see here there's a little fan here. This is the fan thing. The fans... When the fans are off, this light is out. When the fans are on, the light is on. This is a broken dungeon lamp. There is usually a little yellow circle, like is back in my area. But actually these Ender IO lights look really good planted on there. So this is the glowstone redstone lamps marked with that thing there. And again, the lights are currently off, but now the lights are on. And this is, of course, same as last time, the advanced redstone interface with position filters from random things, telling it what position the should be handled by this lever. And then we've got the mob farm is actually now about 20 squares below us. And that is because, and one of the reasons it's been a couple days since I posted was, I updated from 1.3.5.3 to 1.3.6, and somewhere in there, there was an Undertaker fiasco. So the Fishes Undead Undertaker mob came into the game, or was changed or something, and it now spawns in my mob farm. And it is extremely tough, and it sprays Unburied Dead everywhere. So basically my mob farm was completely overrun when that change went into effect. And what became very obvious was that I couldn't be anywhere near my mob farm when it was running. I did upgrade my mob smasher to, or mob masher, whatever it's called. It only had 10 sharpness in it, but it now has 10 sharpness and 10 smite and 10 fire aspect. So it does quite a bit of damage, but it still takes it multiple minutes to kill an Undertaker. And while it is doing that, the Undertaker sprays minion mobs everywhere called Unburied Dead. So I got to sort of get away from that mess. But I still want to be in the same chunks, so we're actually just basically a couple stories up, and we're using this chest to pull things out. So downstairs, I'm killing zombies, I'm killing scarecrows, I'm killing wizards, possibly creepers. I'm killing all the things. And you can see everything sort of coming in, and most everything has a house now, or a home now. It either goes to trash cans or drawers. I still occasionally get something like a new weapon. You got those haunted weapons or tools that like run around, or a monster will drop like out of nowhere an iron hoe or a diamond shovel that I don't have either filtered out or a drawer for. But on the whole, this thing has been running smooth. I've been letting it run pretty much nonstop for the last, 12 hours or so, and it's been going fine. Yeah, so there it goes. It's just cruising along. Up here, you can see I've got Yaba barrels with infinity upgrades in them. I now have 392,308 solidified experience, so I'm not worried about running out of experience anytime soon. I've got 9,700 ender pearls, and I took out my blaze spawner, but I'm at 19,000 blaze rods, and I can put the blaze spawner back in if I want them. And I've got, string for days. I've got that will make wool for days. This fabric will make paper. What else? I have something that will make leather. I forget what makes leather. Oh, this rat pelts will make leather. I'm getting cooked rats out for food now. Everything is just cruising along nicely. Yeah, I think that's about all to say about that. I'm getting the rare occasional thing, like occasionally an emerald, probably from an Undertaker or something. Anyway, some of the stuff is maxed out, like I'm only holding 512 of each head, etc. I'm up to 4,000 of gold nuggets. That's actually pretty nice. And I also have a crafting table here in case I want to do things like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So occasionally I do this just to increase my stock of wheat, in case I ever need to go get more emeralds from a farmer who takes wheat. But I probably won't ever need to again. But hey, it's good to have emeralds for days as well. So there you have it. Let's go downstairs and take a look at things. So now this is sort of my public interface for my mob farm. There's no real reason to go downstairs ever again, hopefully. But I do have the ability to. So we're going to slide over here to an elevator. I got to make sure my magnet is disabled. So now we're on the roof of my mob farm. You can see that this is the fan that points down. So my mob masher is directly under here. So we've got the absorption hopper coming up and doing its thing. And Jeez. May need one more extract in there. Extract speed. But we're pulling things into trash cans, so before it goes to the ender chest, just wanted to make sure everything was going up there. I probably need to up the extract speed. I've got 8 in here for 36 items per operation. Do I have any more of those on me? Oh, hey, I do. Look at me planning ahead. Let's just max it out. What the heck? Give that a second and see if it clears out a bit better. Anyway, sorry. Pondering. So we've got mod item filters here. Basically, we've got pipes going with a bunch of stuff into a trash can prior to getting to the ender chest. And that is, we're axing all the vampirism, instrumental mobs, and Mousy's mob stuff. And we are also, on this side, axing all the dungeon tactics and rats and mechanism tools, unless it is in a drawer. So the drawers do have priority, so things like cooked rat will get through to the drawers. But if it doesn't have a drawer, it goes into the trash can. And then we've also got some big item filters, and those are doing things like, here are the trophies, just various tools, some of the novice books that trying to slow down the stuff. The Midnight Morn, this is the boss weapon from the Undertaker, because they spawn like crazy, so I have a ton of them. I kept a couple, but I have a few books. So I kept a couple of the Midnight Morns, but yeah, I should actually try using them. They're probably pretty handy. And then over here, we've got all the vanilla armors, the leather, iron, chain, gold, and a lot of the tools. And then also we are now getting rid of all enchanted books, because I have got, between this here and then back in my sandcastle, I have got all the books I should ever need. Over here, we're getting out, the experience orbs are being collected and piped out as liquid XP. So we've got 5.3 million millibuckets, or, roughly 5,298 buckets, plus another 16. I have an ender tank here, so that can go over to things like my repair, or a mob duplicator, or what have you. The last thing I'm doing is I am still pulling Electroblob stuff into this whole big thing. And I'm basically looking for 2 more things. That is, I'm looking for Earth Sorcerer or Earth Mage pants. I'm looking for the thing that I wanted most out of all of this junk, which is the Storm Mage, Master Storm Mage wand. And then I'd also like to get a Master Sorcery wand. So basically those 3 things are what I'm waiting for, and then we can start trashing all of this Electroblob stuff. Oh, and I think I hear an Undertaker down there. So that guy there is probably a Unburied Dead that escaped. So if we go downstairs, let me get my bow out, because this could get ugly. So now now that it's a lot more dangerous to be around my mob masher because of the Undertaker, this is the corner that all the mobs are going to, and this is the corner that has a tendency to spawn either the Mousies, Barakoa, sometimes they escape, or the Unburied Dead from the Undertaker escape. So I've now made this a much smaller area. And you can see there is one of the Unburied Dead that has escaped. These, if you mouse over them, cracked dungeon floors, supposedly you can't spawn things on them. But the Barakoa minions and the Unburied Dead minions apparently will spawn on these because they just spray. They're not spawning so much as being summoned by the main character. So the Undertaker's inside, but when he shows up, this place can fill up with Unburied Dead. And scarecrows can hit me through the wall. But that area is now pretty self-contained, and I don't have to be down here pretty much at all anymore, especially once I get the last things that I'm wanting, which is the last pair of pants and the last 2 wands that I'm looking for. And then I will never come down here again, and I will be busy just coming in here and grabbing anything that I need from this. And checking to make sure there isn't anything new and interesting in here. Oh, and I should also say that one thing that may have been causing some little secret passage back here. One thing that may have been causing a little bit of problem was that I did go ahead and put in, you can see there are 2 spawners in there, because there are 2 Enderman spawners in there, and I think that's why things were getting a little kludged up in this thing, is because I think I'm dropping so much Ender Pearls that they're not being pulled out. We want to make sure that we get those out fast. And I may need to put a buffer thing in here. In other words, move this up 1, put a big crate here as a buffer. Because it looks like I'm getting more stuff out. Things are getting a little stuffed up in here. Got some sort of vampire prints down there now. They can also be really hard to kill. So I can tell by the sound of it that I've got some like super tough Archduke or Prince vampire down there. Usually they die a little faster if I just go away, because they don't fight the fan and they just sort of get killed by the mob masher faster. So if we take a look at sort of another secret passage, if we take a look at the sort of backside and guts of this, you can see I've also got ender chests set up for blaze rods and ender pearls and experience, solidified experience, so that I can pull those out when I need to from wherever I am in my base. And let's see, if we take a look at where's my Yeta wrench? There it is. So we take a look here, so you can see there's just the pipes going into the backside there, and then there's also extraction pipes from the top going into these things here. So basically these pipes are taking stuff out of the mob farm and putting it into those big old Yaba barrels, and etc. And then also we're pulling stuff out of the thing here and putting it into the drawer controller. So that's how this thing works when you take a look at it from the outside. And let's see, what else do we want to talk about? Just go ahead and turn on my magnet now that I'm away from my mob farm. And I should get out my glider. So this is how things look at the outside now, which the outside is not really important because I'm not going to spend any time outside here. Once I move all this stuff over to either my new base or... So I'm going to have, the Astral Sorcery stuff is going to be way up there, and you can't even see this from up there. See this mob farm thing. And all of this junk that's here, all the storage and the few machines I've had to build up just to get moving, that's going to go either to my house that is way off in the distance. If we take a look. So here's my sandcastle, there's my mob farm, the Astral Sorcery area is right about there. My house is way over here. There's a village there. So somewhere, possibly somewhere in this area, I'm going to build an industrial complex. And it is going to be another one of those dimensional doors leading from the house to the industrial complex. And in that industrial complex, I'm going to have my ME system and all my auto crafting stuff. So that's sort of the next area that I need to build while also working on Astral Sorcery so I can get that moving. But basically, I'm abandoning this castle, and I'm not going to be outside of this mob farm very much, so we're probably going to leave it looking like that. Or I might come back and dress it up so it looks like a big floating sky meteor. I don't know. We'll see. As you can see here, I did end up doing some stuff. I've got, had to build some stuff just to, I wanted to get a building gadget. I wanted to try out the flux bore. So I got a reinforced flux bore from a quest reward, and I've seen Direwolf 20 use them, and I know they're sort of good, but in most packs I can so easily get a godly Tinker's pickaxe or two, one for looting and one for soak touch, that I don't really pay much attention to flux bores. But because the XP is so nerfed on the Tinker's Construct stuff now, which, it takes like, I think 20,000, either 10 or 20,000 experience just to get from the first level to the second level. And so you're really stuck with low modifiers unless you cheese it, like giving it to a mechanical player and doing some sort of cheese stuff. So I decided to give the flux bore a try. I liked it. So I've got one now for soak touch, and then I made an even better one now for looting. It's got fortune 3 and smashing and smelting and holding 4 and unbreaking 3 and efficiency 5, and it's a beast, and I sort of like it. And I made myself a flux magnet to go with it because I was just spraying stuff everywhere with my new toy. And of course I had to make a builder because I was doing some big building projects. That reminds me, I'll show you that in a bit. An energetic effuser. This serves dual purpose. On one hand, it charges things, and it charges them very fast when you have the flux linkage concentrator in it. So that's handy. But then also you can throw flux reconstruction in there and use it to repair things. So like my sleeping bag. Oh, what happened? Somehow Usually it switches back and forth between them pretty seamlessly. However, this time it has decided to, since I'm on camera, be a pain in the butt. And it's unhooked the fluid. So to repair things, you have to use Essence of Knowledge. So I've got a fluid dictionary converter here. So down. Why you don't want to connect? Oh well, I'm going to move this soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but let's go ahead and just fix this real quick. Alright, so we're going to pull green extract. Into here. Insert green. Change that to brown. Extract. Yeah. And it's going to be brown. Insert. So basically I've got the liquid XP on green channel going into this bad boy on green, and then being converted to fluid of essence. Make sure that that is always active. And then the brown channel we're extracting, always active, the essence of knowledge, and inserting it into here. And then we're good to go. And there's my sleeping mat is repaired. Might as well repair that while I got this set up that way. This is my rift closer. Anything else need repairing? I think everything else is fine. Cool. Put this over here for the next time I need to charge things. I'm going to move all this stuff soon. The next thing I'm building is an industrial area. Or actually I might put this in my house. Might set this up in my house. We'll see. I got a immersive engineering windmill as a quest reward. Wasn't really a fan. I tried them once and they seemed to not give much power for how much they took to make, but since I got a free windmill, all I had to do was grow some hemp and slap some fabric up there to make it better. And it's not doing too bad. I mean, it's doing, oh, it's full. My buffer, or my battery is full, but it was doing, I think, 37 RF per tick, which ain't bad. And then the only other power I've got going right now is that I went ahead and made one of my things that I prefer from immersive engineering, the Thermoelectric Generator. And this was doing, says 25 RF per tick, but I think that's how much I'm using right at the moment. I think it was doing 32-ish RF per tick when it's actually going full blast. So I did get a little bit of power generation just to get me moving. And I spent so much AFK time and time farting around not spending energy that I have built up 54 million in an energy cell, which is why we're not actually doing much there for power. Other than that, storage is a little out of control. That's no fun. So I am quite eager to get moved over to someplace. I'm also getting sick of my little dinky smeltery, so I'm eager to get going there. There's not much more to say about this area, I think, other than I'm going to be happy to put it in my rearview mirror. I had to quickly make a few plastic just to make a couple industrial engineering machines. I think I needed it for the fluid dictionary thing and for something else. But actually I didn't really need a ton of plastic, so I just made a bit and called it good. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything else going on. I did put a waystone up over here for sandcastle, so if I need to come back for any reason. But pretty soon I'm going to make a bunch of crate keepers, and I'm going to already have like several sacks of holding. So between this episode and next, I'm going to basically move out of this sandcastle and put it in my rearview mirror for more fun and better laid out areas. What else is going on? So there was this dragon over here. Whoops. There was a dragon over here, so I decided I'd go ahead, now that I have a decent bow, I thought I'd go kill it. And this is before I had my flux bore, so I think my passage down is a bit of a nightmare, but we can fix that. So now, I do like my flux bore, so let's just go ahead and let's go down like we mean it. So it's cool. I've never really used smashing and smelting, but all of this tin, it's actually going to turn it into iron bars for me, or I mean into tin bars for me. And I was a little leery about doing it that way with the leveled up, which gives me extra ore chunks. Oh, is the dragon back? What? He was gone. Maybe there is a dragon down here. Not sure where, but wonder if that's a new dragon or another dragon. Let's see, how do we get to him? I think he's over here somewhere. So I am in really good armor. You can see I've got down, or up above my hearts, I've got basically a bar and a half of armor, and I've got almost an entire bar of armor toughness. And all of my armor has resistant 8 on it now, which means I've just put huge amounts of iron and obsidian in resistant upgrades to it. And in addition, I've also got a fire charm, which I'm keeping repaired. As I just showed you, I repaired my sleeping mat. So between the fire charm and my armor, not really scared of dragons too much anymore, except for when they bite me. I wonder where that dragon went. So I came down here, dragon was gone, this guy is here. I don't have enough melee damage to really fight this guy. This is the Mousy's mob, Ferris Rotnot. It's not really enough room to work with this guy. He basically has 3 attacks. He also seems to doesn't like to go downstairs. So that's one of them. So he's got 3 attacks. He's basically got one where he swings from side to side in front of him, and it has a huge knockback. So I'll show you that one. Bring it, buddy. So that's that one. Then he's got that one where he hammers down. So that's the huge knockback side to side. And then he's got one where he like stomps or something and all the ground erupts around him like that. But basically what you got to do to kill that bad boy is when he does the overhead slam, his axe gets stuck in the ground, and you got to circle around behind him and you get 1 melee attack to his back. Unfortunately, I only do about He's got 560 hit points. He's down to 525. I'm only doing like 15 or 20 damage per hit on him. So I need to up my melee game before I do that. So he's got the stomp. And he's got side to side. I do also have some knockback resistance here. And let's see if we can get him. Oh, I hit him once, 513. So there you go. That's how you do it. And if I had 20 minutes to kill, I would go ahead and kill him. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Alright, well I heard another dragon somewhere over here. But it must be a different dragon. I will say, I don't have any light. I picked up my illuminator that I had above here because I wasn't planning on doing anything more. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick the joy that is my flux bore. It just goes right through stuff like butter. I love it. And it smelts things. And it has looting. Or luck, or whatever it's called. So that's beautiful. And as I was saying, if we take a look at one thing I was worried about with all that mess was that it wouldn't interact well with the leveled up perks, which if we take a look at, God, where's my book? I need to get an ME system up and going. I can never find anything here. Where is my book? Why am I not seeing it? It's probably right here in front of me. Or maybe I put it away somewhere. Anyway, there's the one in there from the mining and leveled up reloaded that basically you can get up to a 25% chance of getting extra stuff from when you mine. And I have that, and what that shows up as is little, if you come here, I need to change my set home to get my stuff moved over and change my set home to my new house that I just built. But so it'll give you these things, these aluminum ore chunks. So in other words, I would get like one aluminum ore and then one of these. How that looks with the smelting and smashing is that sometimes I get extra. So I usually, like, if I just do one ore, I usually get 2 bars because I smash it and then I smelt it. But if I get one ore, if I get 2 ores and then one of these, I will get 4. Yes, I sometimes get 4 bars from mining one ore because of the leveled up reloaded and the smashing and the smelting. So anyway, 1 ore is usually 2 bars, 2 ingots, but 1 ore can also be 4 ingots, like 25% of the time. Bottom line is I haven't really mined that hard. You can see I've got like 1,500 iron ingots and 2,800 tin ingots. That's, to be fair, I found a huge vein of tin that must have been like, I don't know, it was a huge amount of tin while I was out looking around for something. So there's that. Anyway, it's pretty handy. I guess that's about all I have to talk about today. I am all ready to Oh, and that's the reason I went down. I'm skipping around, sorry. It's been a long couple days dealing with the Undertaker and my mob farm and overhauling it. The reason I went down to check on that dragon was that I needed to find some rock crystals for Astral Sorcery. And if we take a look over here, there were actually 3 pieces of rock crystal ore in the neighborhood, and they were all over here. That one over there is right under the dragon, and these 2 were dragon adjacent. So I did go down there and dig around and find those. And so I now have the rock crystals I need to, as you can see here, to advance in Astral Sorcery. So I'm going to go put this stuff up there. I'm ready to upgrade to the next crafting table and get started on that now that I've built my island up there. Speaking of this island, this whole hillside here came pre-effed up, as sometimes happens in World Gen. I may go ahead and actually demolish that big piece of rock up in here. There's my neighbors, the harpies. These guys are sort of funny. They will grab you and try to pull you up in the air and then let you go. So right now they're just hitting me. Oh, now one's got me and he's pulling me up in the air. And there he dropped me, and then another one picked me up. Oh, and now we've got Mousy's guys. So there's a bunch of harpies up here, so I'm sort of not liking that. I don't know why I'm flying up to my Astral Sorcery area. Other than that, I'm almost there, so I feel like I should, since I've got a door to my base up there. Come on, Squid Ring, you can do it. Oh yeah, this is going to be a problem. Look at all these harpies. That may be a problem. Okay, this is going to be a problem. I don't think these guys necessarily respond. Scrapper, die. I don't think these guys necessarily respect things like the peace candle, but I do. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. They're cheap. Unfortunately. Oops. Did I get one? Yeah. Make sure I'm not... Yeah, I specifically made this far enough away from my monster spawner that a peace candle or an illuminator shouldn't do anything to it. But yeah, those harpies, they don't respect light, so they will spawn even if the place is lit up. And they also... emeralds, apples for emeralds. Indeed. Let me save you till later. Anyway, I don't think they respect peace candles, and they may not respect other things either. A lot of these, one of the problems I'm having with this mod pack is that things like the Mousy's mobs, like the Barracoa, those little red witch doctor guys, the Undertaker, some of the Fishes Undead stuff, the Mousie's Mob stuff. They don't respect spawning rules. They just sort of show up when they feel like it, which makes it sort of a pain in the butt. I could set up things like turrets or what have you, but I don't know. We shall see. I do sort of like this place, so maybe I'll just kill the harpies when they're here. I shouldn't have to spend a lot of time up here. I'll spend enough time to get everything settled, but then it'll be on to other things. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so now we're back on the other side of the map. Go ahead and hit the sleeping bag. I think that's about it. So, see, we just went 1,300 or so away from where we were. Shut those off now. Gotta watch out for things up here, since I let it get dark. Well, there you go. We can end this where we started it, back at my new house. I think that's all I have for today. The vines have gone completely bonkers. Oh well, looks okay. A little busy, but a little busy is part of the style I was shooting for. So I'm going to probably build like a little pond or water feature out front. And then let's talk for a minute about the other areas I'm going to have. So we've got all these other potential places to go and things to do. I'm going to have an industrial area, which is going to have my ME system and a lot of auto crafting machines, and probably my smeltery. That's where I'm probably going to spend a good share of my time. I'll probably end up setting up somewhere. This will probably go to some sort of power generation area. So I'll have an energetic generator system set up, and then probably play around with some either mechanism fusion or nuclear craft fusion. So this could go to my power area. I'd probably use earth to go to a strip mine, where I strip mine down around bedrock. Don't know. I might like send this to Nether, have like a Nether fortress, or a Nether stronghold that I build, and have this door go to the Nether since it's fire themed. I might send this to the end, and I might put some solar stuff in the end since it's always daylight in the end. Ice. I might make myself a little ice area to go to. I don't know what I'd put there. Earth. I might make I might make myself a little grove and agriculture area. So this could be going to that. So that's where all these doors are going to go as I add sort of functions to my base. Anyway, so we will end the video where we started, and thanks for watching, and I hope you guys like it. And I know it was a little weird that I sort of started over in a new world a couple episodes ago, but I am trying to make this world a bit more stylistically interesting. Try and make the things like my mob farm and my transport hub and etc. a little more interesting to watch and interesting to look at. Better design. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll talk to you later.